Hi all, this is Pixelcave, and in this mini review we want to share our thoughts about the first 20 to 25 hours in Dune Awakening with you. Now, we've been fortunate enough to have been part of an exclusive preview beta that let us experience the almost launch-ready build of Dune Awakening's early game experience. This includes the first two zones of the Haga Basin map, several of the points of interest, sandbikes and parts of the main story's first act. By the way, you will have a chance to experience exactly all that very soon, as there will be a large-scale beta weekend that starts on the 9th of May, and we have multiple keys to give away for this beta weekend. Simply check the link in our description and comments, and keep an eye on our channel and socials to participate. We're excited to bring you this opportunity. Oh, and should this video help you make up your mind as far as buying the game, we have an affiliate link in the description and would very much appreciate your support. Okay, so what do we think about the game now that it's almost launch ready? In short, the first 20 to 25 hours of the game have been a pretty solid survival experience. We felt absorbed by the game rather than being distracted by bugs or unfinished content, and really enjoyed to explore, adventure and progress with our characters. Most areas and gameplay elements, including controls and the interface, feel polished, and the game offers many quality of life features we'd expect to see. We really love the setting and atmosphere, including the beautiful soundtrack and how alive the environment feels. The wind rolls over the plains of sand and you hear the crackling of radio signals around enemy outposts, and the ominous groans of sandworms, crashing ships or spice blows in the distance never let you forget how dangerous this planet is. That said, the audio in general is great, from the sound of equipment, workstations or skills, to your trusty guide Santara and the various voice recordings you can find in-game. Some of them are truly memorable. On the topic of performance, we luckily didn't have any major problems, except in one testing station where we experienced some stuttering and graphical glitches. Though those are known issues that we expect to be improved upon until launch. When it comes to bugs in general, yes, of course, we encountered some, but hopefully most will be addressed and nothing was truly game-breaking, at least during this preview experience. We'd say the most annoying issue we encountered multiple times ourselves was a bug with our sandbikes, where we either weren't sitting correctly on our bike or on the passenger seat when using a bike together. A relog fixed that, but yeah, it shows just how much can happen in a game of this scale, even after a significant time in closed beta. That aside, the game does an excellent job at guiding newbies through the first steps. It teaches you survival basics, where to go to progress and what to unlock next. And once you have overcome the first few hurdles, it sends you on your way to experience things for yourself. By the way, if you are an experienced survival player or generally like to explore things on your own, there is also an option to play the game without sticking to suggested steps and unlocks, so the reins are off. So what about the actual gameplay and features? Well, let's talk about one of the most debated topics first, combat. Yes, at times it feels a bit clunky when it comes to movement, but to be honest, in this kind of game we personally don't mind it so much. What's more important to us is that you can unlock all professions over time and mix and match skills from all of them, and even better, switch out skills on the fly, depending on your situation. It lets you experiment with different setups and allows you to have some fun trying out skills you wouldn't usually choose. Make sure to check out our sneak peek at all skills from every profession. We have yet to experience a bit more when it comes to enemy AI in later zones, but at least in Vermilia's Gap we noticed that NPCs were using more skills to counter your attacks, and made fights a little bit more interesting. When it comes to the difficulty, nothing was really a challenge, at least in the starter to early game zones, and everything feels very solo friendly. If something is tougher, you simply need to gear up a bit. Personally, we would have loved them to crank it up a bit, but this could of course change dramatically in the later zones of the game. The survival mechanics, from hydration management to sandstorms and sandworms, all feel good and like they belong into the world. Extracting blood from enemies feels satisfying, and escaping your first sandworm encounter is a thrilling experience. Crafting processes, workstations, as well as storage and inventory can all be managed with ease and without feeling tedious. though crafting in general is a bit basic and some more complexity would have been appreciated. Again, this might change as we proceed further into the mid and end game. You'll find most things you'd expect or hope to find, from options to split stacks, quick depositing items of the same type, the ability to access permissions remotely, to customizing your gear and to recycle unwanted items. The game offers hotbar support as well as radial wheel loadouts. There is full controller support, and most controls are also remappable. Concerns we have had in the past when we learned about durability loss, required repairs and constant recrafting of items felt almost trivial in this preview build. Unless you die a lot, your gear will last quite some time, and you will have established yourself well enough to maintain it or reacquire new stuff without any issues. Other than that, you have a lot of freedom to build, and we hope they will add many more placeables and building sets over time. Building maintenance is also fairly manageable, and if you can't log on for longer, you should be able to keep your base fueled up and protected for around 3 weeks. Since we have only touched on it briefly, in this preview we could only craft and try out sandbikes, unfortunately none of the other vehicles. That doesn't make the sandbikes any less fun though. It feels really good to race across the sands and jump over bumps in the dunes. There are several modules you can equip, with our favorite being the extra storage of course, to carry more home from longer trips. The good news is that you can swap out bike parts anytime. Let's talk about the game's dungeon-like points of interest. Testing stations offer a nice change of scenery and can be run solo or together with others. The fact that they aren't instants can of course lead to finding them empty, which is a bit of a bummer. Other than that, they seem to mostly be intended for resource and schematic runs, as there are no real boss encounters or other interesting challenges. Large shipwrecks are similar points of interest, but those are one of the few PvP flag locations you can find on the Haga Basin map, just so you know what you get yourself into if you seek them out. And then there's the game's main story, which you will follow via your journey. In the 2 first zones, Haga Basin South and Vermilius Gap, we could complete 4 trials of Akal, which are instance areas that teach you more about the game's narrative and let you unlock essential gear. These experiences are usually quite short, but fairly unique, and if you're into lore, you're probably in for a treat. Now, if we were solely to judge the game by this early gameplay experience, which makes up around 20 to 25 hours of the game if you take your time and explore a lot, did we enjoy it? Well, the answer is definitely yes. Exploring, adventuring, advancing our characters, all that felt really good. But of course, playing the first few hours of a new game is often the best experience, since everything is new and exciting. That aside, it really did feel good and enjoyable. Does this make the game a recommended buy? Well, without having the bigger picture, including the remaining content and understanding the long-term appeal, that's a very difficult question. We know that the endgame focus is on the PvP encounters on the game's massive deep desert map. To supplement this, there is the political system, the Landsraad, where PvE players can participate as well. How exciting this will be remains to be seen. And then there are no instance dungeons, no raids, no world-like bosses, at least for now. All things we personally would love to see. Does this make it a bad game? No, but it's important to head into the game knowing what to expect. Now, while we both enjoy to occasionally participate in PvP, it's generally not the main draw for us, at least not in this type of game. So looking at it primarily from a PvE perspective, would a game that offers you 80 plus hours of content, depending on your playstyle of course, without engaging with the PvP map, be worth the cost of entry for you? Just for the adventure, or do you expect to get more for your money? And lastly, while the game has MMO elements, it should not be mistaken for a traditional MMORPG. It's an open world survival game at heart. Personally, based on the experience we have had in this preview, we definitely see ourselves enjoying the game, just for the experience in the Dune universe alone. But if it will be something we enjoy in the long run, will very much depend on how the game will be expanded over time. There's a lot of potential for additional content, from new classes and factions, to maps and even new planets that could be added. What are your thoughts? Have you already pre-ordered? Are you waiting for more gameplay impressions? Or is it simply not your cup of spice tea? Let us know in the comments. In case you did make up your mind and plan to buy the game, we would very much appreciate if you could do so via our affiliate link in our description and pinned comment. It would be an amazing way to support our channel and it helps us bring you more content. And if you're looking for more guides, tips and everything Dune Awakening, we got you covered.